Good evening. Once again, we return to the story of Caius, Spellsword, Dunmer, Eternal Champion, most loyal servant of the Emperor, former head of the Blades on Vardenfell, Auditor of the Great Houses, Nerevarine.
Welcome, honored cat burglar.
Finest courier in Tamriel, cat burglar of the Thieves Guild. And I'll admit, I'm a little bit lost on what I wanted to do. Right. Alright, well, I am due to go back to Anvil. That probably makes the most sense for the start. I've completely forgot to do this. Alright. Well, I'll do that when I'm back in the Imperial City. So I think today we'll head out to Anvil. We'll deal with whatever we have to do there. And then the ultimate goal is going to be heading back to the Imperial City. But obviously if opportunities come up, I want to follow through. It's maybe not the nicest weather to be traveling in, but I want to get this show on the road. I don't recall if I was hanging on to... I think I was hanging on to a powerful soul for enchantment. And we're pretty close to our limit. Actually, if I recall correctly, I was going to sell off some of my items in the city. That well. Alright, this time I am going to find out what this guy's deal is. So close. I'm pretty sure I just lost him. Help. The bridge would have been a good place to catch him. I don't want to blow all my speed potions on this. No! Oh, this is idiotic. I get wanting to do a dismount animation, but I don't get why I can't interact from people on horseback. Anyways, we're gonna do this by timing, so once I catch up to them.
Maik knows much, tells some. Maik knows many things others do not.
Alright, tell me about a rumor then.
Some people want special bows that take too long to load and need special arrows called bolts. Maik thinks they are idiots.
It's a little bit of an anticlimax. Alright. See you, Maik.
Maik wishes you well.
So if I was hoping for any kind of registration that I've talked with the guy, I mean, there might be something that happens. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try and talk to him again. But we'll save immediately afterwards.
Mike believes the children are our future, but he doesn't want them ruining all of our fun. Mike wishes you well.
So basically, I give it about 20 seconds from catching up with him. I do like the chance to be able to just travel the province instead of using fast travel, but it comes at a cost now where if the game crashes, it represents a really big time sink. know there's a way around. I think I passed it though. How many people made this game again? Sorry, that's me. It's modded, so I'm not allowed to complain, but... I clearly got that wrong. Sorry, just have a quick message to send off. I gotta find out the right way to get to this path. I mean, it worked, but I feel like I'm missing out on the chance to talk to someone or just find something along the way. I remember I used to be able to knock people down. Doesn't seem to be happening anymore. Sorry, I don't really have a whole lot to say. I just got a couple of rather frustrating messages. They're coming to help with the bear, right?
You elves are all the same.
Wasn't exactly the swashbuckling fight I was hoping it would be. Oh boy. I'll give him some space for my horse and then... At least they're not targeting the horse anymore. Probably should have paid attention to the weight on that. I don't want to stop by the inn, but I do want to just check on something. Every time I found a shrine, it's been from talking to people.
Greetings, Dunmer. Good day.
All right.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in? You've made a good bit of gold.
I was probably hanging on to that for something, but...
Another satisfied customer.
Sorry, just 1 second.
Be seen.
Morning, sir.
All right, any rumors?
The mythic Dawn murdered the Emperor and led those damn Daedra right into the heart of the Empire. They'll pay for their treachery. If you run into trouble, come find me.
I guess at least that gave me an autosave. I wonder if that's one of my old horses. Okay, there's got to be a portal nearby. Ah, there we go. Make sure my horse is all right. Oh, that's bad. There should be a dispel that I have, though. I got rid of it, didn't I? I'm determined to hang on to my loot. Probably remember to bring that up more often. But in preoccupied, silence isn't as big of a burden, I suppose. A little less health than I want going into something like this, but there's also fewer pursuers. Oh, come on. Now we see the wisdom of that save.
You've got the hands of a smith. Must have spent some time.
Is that a compliment?
Hail, good citizen. How can I be of service?
Alright, so for starters, let's try and get rid of some of this white.
Enelroth, Morvain's apprentice. Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
That's right, I forgot. I'm carrying a bunch of stuff that I was gonna drop off. Well,
You got... That's a...
it's not exactly what I was planning on selling, but
I let that go too cheaply. I appreciate your business. You too.
alright, so let's deal with a haunted house.
Talk is free. What do you want?
Am I going crazy?
I was half expecting you not to show up. Are you ready to go to the manor?
Oh, yes.
Then let's get this over with. I don't relish the thought of spending too long inside of the manor. Follow me.
I've never been able to quite get this in games where the walk is too slow and the run is too fast. I don't mind following NPCs, but it'd sure be nice if I could just sort of not have to adjust the tempo.
Though when I have arrived in Benarius Manor, I must proceed cautiously to the secret room's entrance and prevent any harm from befalling us if the curse is ever to be lifted from this place.
Okay, you lead from here. Hopefully we can make it to the basement without too much fighting.
Basement. Okay. That was your grandpa.
You're pathetic.
Oh, come on.
You'll never take me down.
I'm not even going to bother mitigating that. I'm just going to reset. One hit.
Okay.
Trying to recover a little stamina while we... Are you kidding me?
Lead on. I hope that whatever's behind the door will truly lift the curse. I'd hate to risk harm for nothing.
I thought for a second there he was ready to...
Certainly. Did you hear a noise?
He's ready to attack me.
Velwyn and I have arrived at the secret door.
Lead on.
I think it's your time to...
I'll be glad to get... as soon as this opens.
Velwyn successfully opened the door to the secret room, which has stopped the ghosts from attacking. He then ran off, leaving me to clean up the mess. It's up to me and me alone to investigate what's beyond the mysterious portal.
I'm leaving.
This will make me popular at the Mages Guild. Please read this again.
The people of Anvil are worms. How dare they criticize what they don't understand? I shall have my vengeance in the form they cannot possibly imagine. I shall use the souls of the departed to prolong my own life. The tome is very specific. I must have more bodies. Yes, more bodies. I must protect myself from those meddlers. They shall not interfere in my designs. I have constructed a room in the basement of this manor. It is there I will inter my corporeal self. I will transcend this plane of existence. Only a true-blooded Benarius may open the portal. So if I fail, however unlikely that may be, a descendant may attempt to follow in my footsteps to carry on the true way. To make sure our secret is safe, I have harnessed the spirits of those whose bodies I have defiled to forever guard that place. Fools think I don't hear them speaking? I can hear their rumor and innuendo. They intend to meddle in powers they can barely comprehend. They call me an old fool and shun me. The young dare each other to step 1 foot in my yard. I become the stuff of old wives' tales and campfire stories. They dismiss me as an oddity, but soon they will see. When all of Anvil lies in waste around me, when their corpses litter the streets and their blood dampens the earth, only then will my true power be known and feared.
Okay.
And I desire the chance to atone for my sins. The things I've done to the people of Anvil, the horrible, unspeakable acts I've committed, demand repentance. Gareth was justified. Slaying me was the only way to stop the madness. I have accepted that fate. Now, so I may make my final peace with the Nine, please rejoin my hand to my body. Only then, when I am complete, will this eternal nightmare end.
After touching the altar, I heard the voice of Lord Grinbenerus. He said that he wished to atone for his past and make peace with the Nines. All he wished was to be whole again. This must be the way to lift the curse from Benerus Manor. I should touch his skeleton while I carry the bony hand and put an end to this madness.
Do I have the bony hand? Clearly not. I genuinely don't remember where I found this, this diary. Plenty of wine. Okay, let's see if we can trace what happened. So we've overheard the word rumor, met with him and bought the house. Arrived, it's haunted. Crashed from downstairs, found the skeletal hand next to the diary. Okay, so that tells me I should be looking downstairs. I mean, I guess I could go back to the videos and see. Why in the world would they have thought it was a good idea to make a skill? Like, I've had to travel across the province to get here. Why do it this way? Okay, one last pass in this level, so this would have been my best guess for where it goes. I mean, it's not that big of a house. There's not a lot of places that can hide. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can bring up the videos on my tablet. So it looks like I picked it up somewhere here. Oh, there it is. Man, that was not easy to find.
It never fails to amuse me. How easy, mortal.
How could I have guessed?
You've assisted me in completing the very thing Carrie Cabal sought to prevent all those years ago. My ascension to immortality. Last time I clashed with mortals, I underestimated their power. I shall not repeat that mistake twice. I live again.
Completing the skeleton was a ruse, and Lorgren rose from the dead. I had no choice but to destroy him. With his destruction, the curse of Benaris Manor was lifted. I should return to the Count's arms and speak with Velwyn.
Oh, neat. He's gonna want to buy it back, isn't he?
How nice to see you again.
I'm sorry for running away like that, but
Yeah, I'm sure you
fear
are.
got the best of me. I'm glad you talked me into coming with you. Now that the curse has been lifted, I feel like I've taken care of my family's unfinished business. Excellent work, my friend. May the manor give you many years of happiness. I'm now off to the Imperial City once more. Farewell.
All right.
First, I steal the letter from Steward Darahill's desk in Castle Anvil. Then I get a forgery made. I have to find and pay for my own forger. Then seal it with the Imperial Watch seal from the Legion Commander's desk in the Imperial City. Darahill cannot be trusted to deliver the letter. I must personally deliver the forged letter to Countess Umbranox of Anvil. I will be paid 500 gold plus the cost of the forgery.
Hail. Have mercy. I can eat for a day with a single coin.
What can you tell me about Darahel's office?
To be honest, I couldn't give you directions to any special room in the castle. Anyone in the castle can tell you, though. However, I'll tell you for free that there are many secrets in that castle. There are secret ways and secret people. Find the blacksmith.
What rumors have you heard, and which personality will you tell them to me in?
Mayenlorn and his brother run a nice establishment at the Flowing Bowl.
Thanks.
Blessings of the shadow upon you.
Still haven't cleaned it up, huh?
Yes.
What did I do to deserve this? Also, I don't think the Gold Coast is where I want to go. Oh, maybe it is. What in the world is going on with this game? I don't need to sneak yet.
You must be the cat burglar I've been told to expect. Follow me.
Can I try and sell some stuff to you for...
Orin has shown me a secret passage within the walls of Castle Anvil. It should let me get closer to Darahel's office without being seen by the castle guards.
Well met. Good day.
What else can you tell me about Darahel's office?
Looking for the steward, are you? Her office is in the private chambers, but she's not there much. You can find her in the audience chamber in the mornings. She dines with the Countess from evening's 8th bell until midnight. I can't help you until you advance further in the guild. You can use one of the other fences like Ongar and Gruma.
Alright then.
There are guards at the top of the stairs. Be as quiet as you can.
mind divines, can't a woman get a moment to herself? Leave me! Get out or I'll call the guards and have you arrested.
So I'm thinking that was probably not the right way to do that. So I don't know if I get to get away with this, but
I have the letter, now I need to find a forger.
probably busted, but
To create a potion of Restore Fatigue, combine any two normal foods such as meats or seeds, grind carefully with a mortar and pestle, place the resulting powder in a small pestle, and mix with ordinary clear water. Beds in the Count's Arms are the softest in Anvil. We wash them after every third customer, no matter how soiled. Our pillows are twice as soft as those at the Flowing Bowl.
much more stealthy. Don't think I want to go to the dungeon. Okay, so the game might point me towards a forger. Otherwise, it may be a bit tricky.
How do you do?
And of
You look
course,
like a bright one.
I want to try and avoid any encounters with the guards.
Me children will thank you for your help.
So, do you know any master forgers?
Well, only because I like you. Look for a man known only as the Stranger. He lives here in Anvil, down the road from the Chapel of Tabella. Blessings of Standard.
I mean, that's the chapel right there. Really?
What do you want? Do I know you?
The Grey Fox sent me.
Everyone wants to know about the Grey Fox. Grey Fox this, Grey Fox that. He's just a man, not a Daedric lord. I've heard it all. They say he's immortal because he's led the Thieves Guild for over 300 years. No one ever sees his face, because he always wears that gray cowl. Oh, and speaking of the gray cowl, did you know he stole it from Nocturnal herself? You'd think he was Saint Nerevar, the way they talk about him.
Well, tell me more about Nerevar. Tell me about the Thieves Guild.
I don't have time to gossip about the guild right now.
Who are you?
I am the Stranger. That is all you need to know. That, and I am no one to be trifled with.
Alright, well, can you do this chore for me?
Yes, it can be done. I can change it to give Lex the highest recommendation. I'll need a full day to properly forge this letter. Return then.
Always with
And
the
of
days.
course, I would expect payment in full at that time.
How about that letter?
Why are you bothering me? It isn't done yet. Now get out of here and let me finish.
Alright, well, again, plenty of other things for me to do, so... I don't think I'm even remotely close to 20 Nern root samples. Well, it's more than I thought I had, but yeah, not even close. Okay, so I think we're ready to head back to the Imperial City with the, with the staff and other tasks. Actually, it makes sense to just wait the day here.
Well then.
I'm gonna guess he's probably not done, but if I can get a head start on the day, so much the better.
You're bothering me.
Are you done yet?
Why are you bothering me? It isn't done yet. Now get out of here and let me finish.
A pleasure to speak with you. What can I interest you in? You got a great deal there. You got a... Thank you. Come again.
It's a start.
I hope I can help.
What rumors have you heard?
Hey! You're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion Gate and saved the city?
I mean, I kind of heard that rumor already, but thanks.
Bye.
Not sure if there's anything else that I can sell.
Hi there.
A pleasure to speak with you. Good that you want to get better.
Tell me more about whatever manor this is.
I've heard you were able to lift the curse from Benaris Manor and destroy Lorgren Benaris once and for all. I thank you for completing the task I set about to do long ago. His unholy craft will no longer threaten the citizens of Anvil. Well done.
Anything else to say?
I've heard you were...
And any rumors?
Did you hear that someone played yet another prank on Jean Frazorek and Bruma? I don't know how she keeps falling for these things. Take care.
Hello, Guild. I hope I can help.
Tell me more about the Mages Guild.
I can't imagine how the average person gets by without our extra services. No spellcrafting and no enchanting? It must be awful.
What rumors have you heard?
The Mages Guild runs more or less like it always did. But we lost quite a few members when the practice of necromancy was banned.
What training do you offer?
You've got a lot to learn.
How much you want to bet?
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
So I'm really looking for a better mortar and pestle at this point.
That seems a fair price.
I seem to remember a few of these were actually really helpful, but I'm going to leave them aside just
Come
because I
again.
spend a lot of time on alchemy.
Good day.
Alright, it's not the most exciting choice, but I'm gonna rest. While I'm doing so, I'm actually gonna go and make a little bit of tea for myself because I'm feeling a bit groggy, and I'd like to try and get a bit more time on the broadcast, so I will be back momentarily. Sorry about that. I don't have a servant in the manor yet.
You're bothering me.
You done yet?
Why are you bothering me? It isn't done yet. Now get out of here and let me finish.
I am going to stand here and watch you finish it.
Don't interrupt. You're bothering me. Do you have my fee?
Here's your fee.
Here is the new list of candidates. Hieronymus Lex has a glowing recommendation.
Doing a lot of riding at night lately, but I want to get to the Imperial City as soon as possible. I have a staff waiting for me. I've got some items to sell. I still have to come back to Anvil, I believe, to finish this off. And then I might make a side trip just to drop off some of the Daedric armor.
I heard you know how to move in light.
You have my ears.
Don't quite want to make it to Kvatch. Didn't think I'd be able to carry it. So again, it's pretty much just a straight trip to the Imperial City unless something pressing gets my attention. It'd be nice if I could to head up to Bruma, but it just doesn't, the logistics just don't work, so if I go to the Imperial City, I'll sell off whatever weight I have. I may or may not make a side trip to Bruma. And presumably we head back to Anvil to drop off the letter. I'm gonna say when I circled the city, I think we've lost a lot of progress there. Yeah. Oh well. I do like the scenery, I just don't like being forced to go back and redo stuff. silenced me that time. I think I gotta go up. There it is. One of the small joys of the long journeys is just trying to find a good angle to watch everything from and enjoy the view. Was a troll for a second. So I'll probably do the Thieves Guild task first because that likely calls for night. Following that, we'll check out the staff, and then I believe I had other duties at the Imperial University. Assuming I can tie that all off, we'll head immediately back to Anvil, but it may be that there are some other side tasks that I need to do. She fell out of the sky. So I'm just straining out the tea leaves.
Speak. Hail, good citizen. How can I be of service?
Just cut across the center.
I've sealed the letter with the Legion Commander's seal. Now I must deliver it to Countess Umbernox personally. I will take on the role as courier.
Alright, let's see if we can get that staff done. Wait, really?
Hail, good citizen.
Oh, right,
How can I
because
be
this
of
isn't the
service?
Imperial University.
How about mixing up some potions? You look like quite the alchemist.
Were you? Ha. So here we should be able to get a little more direct path to the Imperial University.
What is it, citizen? It's you, the hero of the box. You have my ear, citizen.
Is it done yet?
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you? Yes, it's all finished. It's in that cupboard back in the corner. I hope it serves you well.
Hear any rumors?
I hear a new associate came to Tikius's aid recently. Something about an old enemy of his storming into town. Take care.
Martina Floria, Master Enchanter for the Mages Guild. Welcome to the Chironasium. Enchanting, isn't it?
Enchanting. What rumors have you heard?
Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. Always keep your magical equipment charged.
What can you tell me about the Imperial City?
I like cities, and this is the biggest and the best. All races, cultures, cuisines, crafts. The city has them all. Be seeing you.
Oh, probably because I'm not wearing it. Yep, there we go. That's gonna push me over. Oh, okay, so I probably should have been trying to improve my strength a bit more on these, so I wasn't sure if you could go over 100.
What can I help you with?
I'd like to know about Garridian's tears.
You aren't the first person to go looking for those. Quite a remarkable story, really. I know a bit about it.
Please, I wish to hear it.
Certainly. Garridan was a knight who lorded over a small village of peaceful farmers. One harvest summer, there was a horrible drought. The farmers appealed to Garridan to discover a solution. He spent a week consulting with sages until one of them mentioned a possibility. The sage told him of an artifact called the Everflow Ewer. The vessel, which looked like a silver pitcher, was said to supply endless water.
Amazing.
Yes, indeed. Legend has it that Garridan found the ewer, and that it was guarded by a fearsome creature. It is also said that the creature froze him. When Garridan realized his quest was a failure, and he wouldn't be able to return and save the farmers, he began to shed some tears. As the ice enveloped him, some of his tears were frozen as well. Some even say that the divine, Mara, took pity on the poor knight. To commemorate his kind heart, she imbued the tears with some sort of magical power. That's only rumor, though. You know, if you're really interested in more, there's a book I read once called Nightfall. It may have more about Garridan.
I think I might have that one. Where can I find this book?
I think I saw a copy last time I was at the first edition bookshop in the Market District.
Anything else you can tell me about the tears?
I wish I could tell you more about them, but that's all I remember from speaking to my colleagues here at the university.
What do you think of the Imperial City?
I rarely leave the university, as I have all I need right here. If you need ingredients, try Ogier Georig at the main ingredient.
Hear any rumors?
The Mages Guild has made more than a few enemies since necromancy was banned.
It's nice to see you too. But you're a bit empty-handed, aren't you? Remember those items we talked about? Please, I'm still waiting.
What items was I supposed to bring?
Good day. It's nice to see you too. But you're a bit empty-handed, aren't you? Remember those items we talked about? Please, I'm still waiting.
Hear any rumors?
Archmage Traven is the first to take such a hard stance on necromancy. It upset more than a few people.
Did she give me a note, I think? Just gonna do a quick search. Okay, I can't find the moment on its own. I'm gonna have to. I might try and do that on my own time.
Bye.
Greetings, wizard.
I needed some...
citizen.
So I'll probably stop by back by the library. Because I have a feeling there's more Mage's Guild activity for me to follow up on. But given that I am... Given that I'm sort of reduced to dragging my sword across the map this way, I figure it'd be good to try and lighten the burden a little bit.
You have my ear, citizen.
Thank you for being tolerant, guards. It is so easy to lose these things. We can wait. Alright.
I hope I can help. Armor, weapons, I have it all. How may I help you?
So that I'm keeping for myself, obviously. Daggers can go.
You've made a good bit of gold. A good price for a good customer. You got a great deal there. A fine transaction.
Works
I
for me.
appreciate your business. Take care.
Any friend of the society? I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil. Good day.
Hi there.
I can help.
I want books.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
I don't know if I've got this one yet.
I purchased Nightfall from Phintius at the first edition bookshop in the Market District. I should read it to find out more about Garridan's Tears.
I think I've read Mysticism either.
Thank you for your patronage. You too.
Mysticism, The Unfathomable Voyage by Tetronius Lore. Mysticism is the school of sorcery least understood by the magical community and the most difficult to explain to novice mages. The spell effects commonly ascribed to the school of mysticism are as extravagantly disparate as Soul Trap, the creation of a cell that would hold a victim's spirit after death, to telekinesis, the manipulation of objects at a distance. But these effects are simply that, effects. The sorcery behind them is veiled in a mystery that goes back to the oldest civilizations of Tamriel and perhaps beyond. The psychics of the realm of Artaeum have a different term for mysticism, the Old Way. The phrase becomes bogged in semantic quagmire because the Old Way also refers to the religion and customs of the psychics, which may or may not be part of the magic of mysticism. As an aside, I'm guessing it's psychics or something, but I just say psychics. There are a few mages who devote their lives to the study of mysticism. The other schools are far more predictable and ascertainable. Mysticism seems to derive power from its conundrums and paradoxes. The act of experimentation, no matter how objectively implemented, can influence magicka by its very existence. Therefore, the mystic mage must consign himself to finding dependable patterns within a roiling imbroglio of energy. In the time that it takes him to devise an enchantment with a consistent trigger and result, his peers in other schools may have researched and documented dozens of new spells and effects. The mystic mage must thus be a patient and relatively uncompetitive philosopher. For centuries, mostly during the Second Era, scholarly journals published theory after theory about the aspect or aspects of magicka lumped together under mysticism. In the Mages Guild tradition of finding an answer to all things, respected researchers suggested that mysticism's penultimate energy source was the Aetherius itself, or else Daedric beings of unimaginable power. Either rationale would explain the seemingly random figurations of mysticism. Some even ventured that mysticism arose from the unused elements of successfully or even unsuccessfully cast spells. Discussion within the Order of Psychics after Artaeum's reappearance has led some scholars to postulate that mysticism is less spiritual in nature, as was originally supposed, and that either the intellect or the emotional state of the believer is sufficient to influence its energy configuration and flow. None of these explanations is truly satisfactory taken by itself. For the beginning student of mysticism, it is best simply to learn the patterns distinguishable from the maelstrom of centuries past. The more patterns are discovered, the clearer the remaining ones become, until of course they change, for inevitably they have to, and then the journey begins anew. Five Songs of King Wulfharth, Shore's Tongue. The first song of King Wulfharth is ancient, circa 1st Era 500, after the defeat of the Elysian army at Glenumbria Moors, where King Hoeg Merkiller was slain. Wulfharth at Mora was elected by the Pact of Chieftains. His Thum was so powerful that he could not verbally swear into office, and scribes were used to draw up his oaths. Immediately thereafter, the scribes wrote down the first new law of his reign, a fiery reinstatement of the traditional Nordic pantheon. The edicts were outlawed, their priests put to the stake, and their halls set ablaze. The shadow of King Borgus had ended for a span. For his zealotry, King Wulfharth was called Shore's Tongue, and Ysmir Dragon of the North. Kind Son. The second song of King Wulfharth glorifies his deeds in the eyes of the old gods. He fights the eastern orcs and shouts their chief into hell. He rebuilds the 418th step of High Hrothgar, which had been damaged by a dragon. When he swallowed a thundercloud to keep his army from catching cold, the Nords called him the Breath of Kine. Old Knocker. The third song of King Wulfharth tells of his death. Orki, an enemy god, had always tried to ruin the Nords, even in Atmora, where he stole their years away. Seeing the strength of King Wulfharth, Orke summoned the ghost of Alduin Time Eater again. Nearly every Nord was eaten down to 6 years old. Boy Wulfharth pleaded to Shor, the dead chieftain of the gods, to help his people. Shor's own ghost then fought the Time Eater on the spirit plane, as he did at the beginning of time, and he won, and Orke's folk, the orcs, were ruined. As Boy Wulfharth watched the battle in the sky, he learned a new Thuum. What happens when you shake the dragons just so? He used his new magic to change his people back into normal. In his haste to save so many, though, he shook too many years out of himself. He grew older than the Greybeards and died. The flames of his pyre were said to have reached the hearth of Kine itself. The Ash King. The fourth song of King Wulfharth tells of his rebirth. The dwarves and devils of the eastern kingdoms had started to fight again, and the Nords hoped that they might reclaim their ancient holdings there because of it. They planned an attack, but then gave up, knowing that they had no strong king to lead them. Then in walked the devil of Dagoth, who swore that he came in peace. Moreover, he told the Nords a wondrous thing. He knew where the heart of Shor was. Long ago, the chief of the gods had been killed by elven giants, and they ripped out Shor's heart and used it as a standard to strike fear into the Nords. This worked until Ysgramor shouted some sense, and then the Nords fought back again. Knowing that they were going to lose eventually, the elven giants hid the heart of Shor so that the Nords might never have their god back. But here was the devil of Dagoth with good news. The dwarves and devils of the eastern kingdoms had his heart, and this was the reason for their recent unrest. The Nords asked the devil of Dagoth why he might betray his countrymen so, and he said that the devils have betrayed each other since the beginning of time, and this was so, and so the Nords believed him. The tongue sung Shor's ghost into the world again. Shor gathered an army as he did of old, and then he sunk in the long-strewn ashes of King Wulfharth and remade him, for he needed a good general. But the devil of Dagoth petitioned to be that general too, and he pointed out his role as the blessed harbinger of this holy war. So Shor had two generals, the Ash King and the devil of Dagoth, and he marched on the eastern kingdoms with all the sons of Skyrim. Red Mountain. The fifth song of King Wulfharth is sad. The survivors of the disaster came back under a red sky. That year is called the Sun's Death. The devil of Dagoth had tricked the Nords, for the heart of Shor was not in the eastern kingdoms, and had never been there at all. As soon as Shor's army got to Red Mountain, all of the devils and dwarves fell upon them. Their sorcerers lifted the mountain and threw it onto Shor, trapping him underneath the Red Mountain until the end of time. They slaughtered the sons of Skyrim, but not before King Wulfharth King Dumalaketh, the dwarf orc, and doomed his people. And then Vec the devil blasted the Ash King into hell, and it was over. Later, Cain lifted the ashes of Ysmir into the sky, saving him from hell and showing her sons the color of blood when it is brought by betrayal. And the Nords will never trust another devil again.
There's more? Cool.
The secret song of Wulfharth Ash King. The truth at Red Mountain. The heart of Shor was in Risdayan, as Dagoth had promised. As Shor's army approached the westernmost bank of the Inner Sea, they stared across at Red Mountain, where the Dwemeri armies had gathered. News from the scouts reported that the Chimeri forces had just left Narcissus, and they were taking their time joining their cousins against the Nords. Dagoth said that the tribunal had betrayed their king's trust, that they sent Dagoth to Lorkhan, for that is what they called Shor and Resdayan, so that the god might wreak vengeance on the dwarves for their hubris, that Nerevar's peace with the Dwemer would be the ruin of the Velothi way. This was the reason for the slow muster, Dagoth said. The armies grow. And Lorkhan, for that is what they called Shor and Resdayan, said, I do not wreak vengeance on the dwarves for the reasons that the tribunal might believe I do. Nevertheless, it is true that they will die by my hand, and any whoever should side with them. This Nerevar is the son of Boethia, one of the strongest Padomaics. He is a hero to his people despite his tribunal, and he shall muster enough that this battle will be harder going still. We will need more than what we have, and so Dagoth-ur, who wanted the dwarves as dead as the tribunal did, went to Corgarun and summoned his House Chapthil, his Nixhounds, his wizards, archers, his stolen men of brass, and the Ash King Wulfharth, Hori Ysmir, went and made peace with the orcs in spite of his Nordic blood, and they brought many warriors, but no wizards at all. Many Nords could not bring themselves to ally with their traditional enemies, even in the face of Red Mountain. They were close to desertion when Wulfharth said, "Don't you see where you really are? Don't you know who Shor really is? Don't you know what this war is?" And they looked from the king to the god to the devils and orcs, and some really knew, that they were the ones that stayed. The Doom Drum. Nerevar carried Keening, a dagger made of the sound of the shadow of the moons. His champions were Dumak, Dwarf King, who carried the hammer of divine mass, and Alandros Sul, who was the immortal son of Azura and wore the Wraith mail. They met Lorcan at the last battle of Red Mountain. Lorcan had his heart again, but he had long been from it, and he needed time. Wulfharth met Sul, but could not strike him, and he fell from grievous wounds, but not before shouting Sul blind. Dagoth-ur met Dumak and slew him, but not before Sunder struck his lord's heart. Nerevar turned away from Lorcan and struck down Dagoth-ur in a rage, but he took a mortal wound from Lorcan in turn. But Nerevar feigned the death that was coming early, and so struck Lorcan with surprise on his side. The heart had been made solid by Sunder's tuning blow, and Keening could now cut it out. And it was cut out, and Lorcan was defeated, and the whole ordeal was thought over.
And finally, Nightfall.
Nightfall tells the tale of Garridan and the quest for the Everflow Ewer at the place known as Frostfire Glade, supposedly located in the mountains near Bruma. Using some of the references from the story, I was able to pinpoint it on my map. The book also mentions needing a special refined frost salt to get into the glade. I should speak to Julian Fannis about this. Excerpt from Nightfall, Tales of Heroism and Chivalry, edited by Carillion Odrenius. The legend of Garridan Stalrus, as told by Jaren Athelwield, squire and friend. And so it came to pass that on the first month before the harvest, an area decent crop could be found in the drought-ridden fields of Farmantle Glens. 27 families, their bellies sunken and empty, turned to their lordship, who had been so fair to them in the hard times before. The man ruled not with an iron gauntlet, but with a soft touch of silken kindness. My lord Garridan Stalrus, knight-errant of Farmantle Glens. I watched sadly as my lord Garridan looked out at the withered fields before him from his meager stone keep and cursed the luck that tainted the skies and stopped the rain from falling. The families in his charge would not last the winter, which was always bitter and cold in the northern reaches of the Gerals. His own supply of grain was already picked clean. There was barely enough to sustain him for the months ahead. I know if my lord had food there, he would have shared it gladly, allowing his charges to pay him back whatever time or manner they could afford, and in some cases, to those in dire need, give it to them without costs. Something had to be done, and it had to be done soon. Sparing not a drake, Garridan paid for the best sages he could find and used the rest to buy as much surplus grain as he could wrest from the neighboring domains. A month passed and nothing surfaced. Winter's icy tendrils would soon creep across Farmantle Glens, causing the green to disappear from the landscape. Families would have to huddle close to their hearths, keeping warm and rationing the bits of food Garridan had given them. I could see Garridan's patience, which was immense, mind you, wearing thin. He told me he'd considered selling his keep, his belongings, anything to keep his people alive, if only the harvest would yield more, they'd be saved. Then, as if Mara herself had answered his prayers, a sage entered Garridan's keep with the answer. Legend told of a vessel of sorts from which water would pour endlessly, known as the Everflow Ewer. Some said the divines themselves created it. Others thought perhaps a powerful sorcerer enchanted it. Wherever it was from, Garridan knew that this could be his chance. Following the directions from the sage, my lord and I set out to recover the ewer and rid Farmantle Glens from the drought. It took days to reach the entrance to the place. After we passed through a winding passage, we finally came to an odd door covered in mystical symbols. As the sage instructed, my lord touched some refined frost salts to the door. The ancient stone door opened, and we proceeded into the glade. A cave cut into the hillside led into a small glade of trees. In the center of the glade, flanked by two standing stones, was a stone altar. On the altar, seemingly glowing with the inner light, was the ewer. Cut from crystal, the vessel was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Water filled it to the very top, and, as legends held, would never diminish as the liquid decanted from it. Eager to return to his domain, Garridan grasped the ewer in hand. Suddenly, the ground trembled, as though the mountains themselves were angered. The sky changed from sunlit blue to dreary gray. Even the ring of trees forming the glade seemed to bend away slightly from the altar, as if fearing what was to come. Then, with no warning, one of the standing stones cracked and exploded. My gaze froze and my heart fell as I looked upon the guardian of the glade. A huge creature, seemingly cut from the very same crystal as the ewer, stepped forth and growled menacingly at my master. The air around it became very cold, as if it was borne by the glaciers of the northern mountains. This was a being of ice, living, breathing ice. Garridan shouted at me to run as he drew his blade. Still clutching the ewer in one hand, he gave a mighty swing at the ice creature. When the forged steel struck home, it gave a resounding ring and merely chipped the beast as a spike would when driven against the hardest of rocks. Never showing fear, my lord swung again and again, each blow being harmlessly deflected away. Then a single and mighty blow from the ice creature knocked my lord down. His blade slid away, and he lay on the forest floor, looking up at the crystalline eyes of his death. The ice creature raised its arm again for the fatal blow and brought it down hard on Garridan's prone form. I don't know why he did it. Perhaps it was instinct, perhaps a moment's lapse in judgment, but my lord lifted the Everflow ewer defensively as he got up to a kneeling position. The blow from the creature connected with the vessel, creating an ear-splitting crash. There was a sound of water splashing and a horrible cracking noise as the sundered pitcher sent waves of freezing water in all directions. Even as I watched, the liquid covered the ice creature and my poor master. They seemed suspended in place as if frozen solid. At the time, I didn't know how true my thoughts had become. As I watched in horror, they were encased in a tomb of pure ice. I could see Garridan's face as the ice overtook him, and I could swear he was crying. A few of his tears froze and fell to the ground at his feet like beautiful blue crystals. He knew I'd failed his mission. His people would he knew he'd failed his mission. His people would starve, and he was responsible. Frost and ice now covered everything in the glade now. The trees, the rocks, the soil, everything. It was then I became aware that the very air around me began to freeze. It was like a cold winter's night at first, and then it rapidly became worse. The cold was so bad it turned into a sort of frozen heat. It began to burn. My throat became tight and breathing became difficult. I began to lose feeling in my arms and legs, and my vision was beginning to blur. I had to escape this icy glade and tell Garridan's story. It was the least that I could do for such a noble man. With every bit of strength I could muster, I ran from the frost fire and back through the cave. I barely escaped with my life. My journey back to the domain of Garridan was a sad one. My heart was heavy, my mind clouded with misery. He was a good man, the greatest I'd ever known. To die like that was no way for such an honorable knight to end his life. When I finally reached the outskirts of the Farmantle Glen, the farmers were waiting for me. I was ready to tell them the sad news, but they raised a cheer of great joy. They told me that only a week ago a strange bluish glowing rain fell on their fields, and that the next day the crops began to glow as if there had never been a drought. A week ago was exactly when my master was frozen in that horrible glade, and his tears froze like bluish raindrops frozen in time. I looked up at the heavens, and the twinkling lights suddenly gave me a great comfort. I thanked Mara and headed home.
How are you today?
I understand Daedra worship has become increasingly prevalent in the Somerset Isle. 9 of the morning watch and all's well. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you. I was wondering about that Daedra, but never mind.
Stay safe, citizen. good citizen. How can I be of service?
Anything else I can help with?
I read Nightfall.
Yes, I have them for sale. If you'd like to buy some, feel free. They're top quality. I refined them myself. I wish I could tell.
I'm missing something here.
Anything else?
Oh, I get it.
Anything else? Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
Might as well buy 5.
I've acquired refined frost salts from Julianne. I should now make my way to Frostfire Glade.
Thank you for your patronage. Sorry, that's all I had. The refining process is quite costly and very tedious. If you come across any unusual ingredients
With
in your
Regulus
travels,
Terentius for a
be
father,
sure to
what do you
remember
expect
me
from
and bring
Gemis?
them here.
The acorn never falls too far from the tree.
Oh,
Safe travels.
you too.
I have a new task for you.
Let's talk about advancement before tasks.
In accordance with guild rules, you now qualify for the rank of journeyman. May you wear your rank well.
He's very suspicious of me, I can tell. Alright, what did you want me to do?
The Council is investigating what happened at Wellspring Cave. Many of our resources are devoted to the task, leaving our ranks spread thin. There is a related book that needs to be recovered. It was recently loaned to Janice Hasseldor, the Count of Skingrad. I'd like you to retrieve it. I understand this may not seem the most important of tasks, but still, it needs doing, and you are one of the few available to do it. A note of caution. Skingrad is an unusual place. Be prepared for the unexpected.
Tell me more about the unexpected in Skingrad.
The city lies southwest of the Imperial City. The castle overlooks the city from a steep hill. You should have no trouble finding it.
Alright, and Janice Hasseldor.
The Count is a reclusive man, and sometimes difficult to see. Hopefully, your status as a representative of the guild will aid you. Speak with the castle steward when you arrive. Have a look
See if
around.
I can get anything else.
You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Hello, journeyman.
Yes, I'm sure you've got something exceedingly important to say. But the apprentices do not teach themselves now, do they? Good day.
Okay, let's see where Frostfire Glade is. That's to the north there. Skingrad's on the way to Anvil, so that's not all that burdensome. The only thing I wish is... I wish I knew what she wanted.
Hello, journeyman.
Alright, well, before I do anything else, I think I'm gonna head up to Bruma, just so that I can top off some of the spare material that I have. We can do the Frostfire quest partway through, or on our way through, and then we'll head back and do the tasks we've been assigned.
What is it?
So I wish I did a little bit more inside of the Imperial City, but we've got our main tasks finished, so in this case a quick trip to Bruma is just a chance for me to drop off some of the weight that I can't get rid of through sales. And turns out that we do have a cave that we can visit. Not even touching that. Alright, I'll deal with it when I can. I just want to get some distance. There we go. I'm a little worried that I might be filling valuable soul gems with like not very good souls, but I don't know a better way of managing it, so we'll work with what we've been given. Isn't it the enemy that's supposed to get staggered when I use my shield? get hit. At this point, I just kind of wish the bandits would carry gold, but then if they were carrying gold, they wouldn't need to be bandits. They're really making me on my journey back home. Should remember to buy some hammers. Oh, come on!
Don't feel bad. No.
Might as well get some gold for the effort. So there's a few things I'm gonna sell actually, but let's start by dropping off some of the things that I know I'm not gonna use. Okay, so I'll hang on to the mage's staff just because I don't know, it's a symbol of my office. The rings don't really weigh that much, so I'm hanging on to those. Okay, I'm still carrying a lot of nonsense, but now the best thing I can just do here is drop off the books that I know I've read. And then, as always, if we have duplicates. Yeah, I'm obviously starting to repeat some of the stuff.
Fjotrid.
Hear any rumors?
Olga sure can tell a good story. I'm not normally a big fan of bards' tales, but she's got some good ones. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. Tell your friends about me. Take care.
So we'll also fence some goods when the time comes, but I'll get rid of my legitimate.
Well met. Let's do business.
Legitimate goods first.
An excellent bargain.
Monkey pants. I'm gonna assume they're not as good as light armor, but good to know.
Thank you for your business. Be seeing you.
Alright, and I want to try and sell a few stolen goods if I can.
It's very good to see.
Wrong fellow, sorry.
Hope to see you again soon.
So we'll stop by Ognar, we'll sell off some things like the lockpicks, and then we'll head on the quest for the next session.
I'm really tired. Can we get on with this? Yeah, my favorite customer. What do you got?
So these might go into a quest, so I'm not going to sell the stolen Nern root. These, on the other hand.
I'm glad that's done. I need a nap. Shadow hide.
Rejoice through faith, your afflictions are banished.
And on that note, I think we have to call it a night. So, sorry, it was a little bit more of a quiet one, but we'll be on our way to doing at least a couple of Mages Guild tasks. We should be wrapping things up with the Thieves Guild, at least on this current thread, next session. And then, I don't know, I could return to Martin and drop off a Daedric artifact already, but I'm kind of hoping we can find a few more shrines. Anyways, all of that will be done within the next week, so thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you then.